So now that we've got all the inking done, I'm going to show you how to put this really easy card together. Just a little catch up. This is the panel that I used some Distress Resist spray, so that's this stuff. It's very cool stuff. I had a little issue trying to get it to spray to start with because it blocked. So every time you use it, just make sure you wipe the nozzle before you put the lid on. But that's the effect I got. And then I just used, I think it was, I can't remember what colour it was, but a blue. It doesn't matter. But I used a Distress ink on this one. On most of my cards actually today. And this one again, I used two shades of green and a blue. And I just, as you would have seen, I just taped up the edge so it's got a little frame. And this is the Lawn Fawn hillside backdrop. This is in the portrait. I have a little series. I've got about 6 cards that I'm going to be filming today, so be sure to check back for the rest of them. There's a whole bunch of them I've done where I've cut out some Cricut creative critters out of from the Explore, but it's cut at 2.75 if you're using Cricut Design Space, and it's cut at 2 3/4 if you're using your machine, like the Expression or the Baby Bug. And I cut all my images out at 2 3/4, so you'll see in this little mini series of Cricut stuff, they're all cut at the same size, but they all look quite different. So like the little bee that I've done, that's, although he's the same height, he looks smaller than, like, say, this guy. But anyway, so there's our little girly sheep. And then to do I did these off camera, but just to do a little sentiment, this is really easy. It's white cardstock. I stamped it in black VersaFine ink, and I just cut with my paper trimmer. I just lined it up. I have a little guide on there, and I just lined it up and just cut it out. It's a very simple way to get a sentiment on there without having to have a banner die or a a punch or something like that. You could just cut it out just like that. Right, so I have an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So that's the base card. And then all I'm going to do, I'm going to use liquid glue, and I'm just going to stick everything flat. You could easily put some foam around the edge here and sort of raise it and pop it up. I'm going to keep things real simple with these cards. It's taken me forever to get everything done, so I'm just going to stick everything flat. I might pop her up. Maybe we'll pop her up. We'll see. And actually I have some more pieces that I forgot to bring to the table that I actually have for this die cut as well. So I'll get them in a second. So I'm just going to stick this onto this guy. If I can stick it somewhat straight, that would be useful. There you go. I cut it so that it was just slightly smaller than the backdrop, so it should hopefully fit on there quite nicely. And there's just a little very textured scene. So I am gonna, I think I will pop her up actually, and him and her. Let me just get the other bits. These ones. Now these were cut using, you would have seen I coloured them in. These were cut using the, it's also a Lawn Fawn die, and I can't remember if this is the Spring Sprig or something like that. If I remember, I'll check it out and then I'll put the link in. The way I store my dies, I don't actually have the names of the dies. I just kind of remember what they are, but I can always put a name up here. but they're tiny little flowers, and then the little centers that you can also use as berries and things like that. So I just kind of did a couple of them in 2 different colors, and they're going to go on here as well. So I think what I want to do is get this onto the base card. I think let's get that bit done. Again, I'm just going to use some wet adhesive. Whee. Just to get it stuck. I quite like wet adhesive. 1, it's quick, and 2, it is very permanent. But you also have time to, a little bit of time to move it around and get it where you want it. So that's always a nice thing, I think, about wet adhesive. And I might have to put something on here just to flatten that a bit more. But I can do that afterwards. So I'm going to have these sprigs. I thought I'd have the sort of opposite colours. So I'm just going to stick them straight on there, just like that. Just for something a little bit cute, I think. But you could, before I glue these on, you could just have them sort of, you know, as actual decoration in the background, if that makes sense. I just like the idea of having these more like a decorative element than too much of a scene thing. That made any sense. I don't know, it's Easter Sunday, so I'm just winging it. Let's get this on here. And I'm staying more or less within the border. I'm not going too much over the white border edge. But you can do whatever. You can also raise these up on some pop dots, dimensional things, thingamabobs, if you want to. If you want to take the time to try and get teeny tiny little pieces on here, you're welcome to it. I am not. And the pieces are so small, it's hard. It's hard, man. Oh, I don't know where to right. And then this one down here. Like I say, it's just a little something. Right, so these guys I'm going to simply take some adhesive, dimensional. Do I want to do that? Yeah, why not? And will these fit? Yeah, perfect. So I hope you guys are staying as safe as you can under the circumstances, and hopefully this little mini Cricut series thing, whatever we're calling it, will inspire you just to create something. Oh, I did stick it on the right way. Alright, so I think I'm just going to have her about there, and then I've just got my little sentiment that I'm going to squash that, just simply put up here. Can't see if that is straight. That looks straight, guys. Straight enough. There you go. Right, so one more thing. This is Nouveau, what are they? Glitter drops. I can't talk. And this is the White Blizzard colour. It's not really a colour, but and I thought it'd be cute to put them on her little bows, just for a little sparkle, little shine. There you go, job done. The other thing you could do is you could put some, shall we? Let's do this. I'm going all out now. This is the Crystal Glaze by Nouveau as well. I'm just going to make her nose shiny, because you know every sheep needs a shiny nose. And it will look kind of what's the word, like misty sort of thing for a minute until it dries. Well, it takes a bit longer than a minute to dry, but you know. And then once it's dry, it'll be this crystal clear little nose. Just want to move it around a bit. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Trying a new format of video for you. So yes, let me know what you think about the blue background, because honestly the Tim Holtz one, which is just behind you, creates way too much reflection. So I had this matte, I thought I'd bring this one out again. So there you go, guys. Happy Easter. See you in the next one. Bye.